I just still think I'm this editor and it's StreamYard. Dance Pop for the win. StreamYard Dance Pop with Howdy Pop. Howdy and hello. Hi, been a long time again. Thank you, Dance Pop. We'll be back soon. I think it's going to fade out. Cheers. Not live. I am not live. And have I not learned from the past? No, because I'm going to make a declaration right now. Please join me Tuesdays at 2. I will be live on Tuesdays, just little Careshares, connect with any peeps. It will be Central this time, no longer Pacific. And I'm going to try a live on Tuesday at 2. Reason being is that's going to be my new little window. I did start a new gig, very, very ultra part-time and totally a new world for me and a new element, but it was gifted, the opportunity aligned for me because of friends I've made who have seen me navigate some heavy stuff. And they're like, here's an open door. And I'm like, asking you shall receive. So I jumped and I'm trying something new and I'm enjoying it. But that frees up my Tuesday afternoons. Mondays, I am gone. Tuesday mornings, I am gone. But Tuesday afternoon, I'll be available. So let's try a live and see what happens. A live Careshare, chit chat and whatnot. And I'm going to see what comes out before my gummies kick in. So yeah, it's one of those days. Honestly, I been going through it since my last live. It actually got a lot worse. Things in my little world out here got a lot worse. Did they get to the point where this Scorpio surrendered and said, I wish I never came? No, because I refuse to use those words. Why? Because my kids are thriving and my husband is thriving. He's finding his way. He's struggling, though. He is not happy as far as watching how my little journey has been unfolding and how stubborn I can be, like almost like a freaking masochist, putting myself in ugly situation time and again. But it is gone. I'm holding my ground. As much as I have begged to have a little bit of a summer and like finally ground and root myself here, now that it's here, I'm kind of like, which way do I go? What do I do? There's so many things to do. I don't know what to do. And of course, back to penny pinching. That's always fun. It was, people were like, you lived in LA, you sold your house, and you went to Wisconsin, you must be living like kings and queens. No, we're actually in a very similar position because there's pretty much one income now, and that's not how things ended for us in LA, So yeah, you might see what you see on the news and you assume what we have, but it's not what we had and it's not what we have and what we walked away with. What we walked away with is enough for a down payment of a house here. But how do we get the house? We left an incredible interest rate, like something that you just won't see anymore. I mean, we're talking just under 3%. Those who know what I'm talking about know what I'm talking about. So to buy in now, it breaks our heart because we see like, oh my God. Anyway, no regrets. We were still, if you remember where we lived, we were near a devastating, uncontrollable, toxic waste dump that was out of control. And we were always sick. Knock on wood, since we've been here, there haven't been any major illnesses. Other than, a slight cold here and there. And then Bo, of course, here he comes. Our most expensive thing yet. He just does not know how to handle humidity and the moisture. Cocker Spaniel ears. Oh my God. But he did finally get shaved, so he's comfortable now. He's sitting comfortably. So blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to do a small violin here. I'm just trying to Careshare. So why I'm saying that is, the platform, riding the waves. I've for years been seeing the light at the end of the tunnel through everything, through the muck, pulling my bootstraps up time and again, all this stuff. But why aren't I showing a lot of the ugly stuff? Why don't I just jump on it? And why don't I just share in the thick of it, in the middle of it? There's restraint. There's a hell of a lot of restraint. It can be frustrating, but it's necessary because a lot of people that are part of my story didn't ask for their story to be shared. They are not participants. And I can't just dish and moan like that because there is still a little part of me that's tactful that just doesn't want to overexpose. And I have held my ground of having a little bit of tact and decency of, not just random sharing memes or randomly sharing things when we're going through it. So yeah, I couldn't share. It was like my own personal NDA I signed with the family. Out of respect for my husband and out of respect for this new life that we're building here. No, it's not a lot of things I could have shared in that sense. What I can share and what I'm going to share is not just a repetitive pattern that I finally got off the carousel of going through again. It got presented to me again, ironically, right away. And I knew this is the devil in disguise. This is what is meant to be like this devil in disguise, especially monetary speaking. You're just looking at doing something for the money. Is that truly for the right reason? Old paradigm, old earth shit, for sure. Like older 30-year Hollywood Heidi, especially the last 17 years as craft service Heidi, I was walking that. I was having this energy exchange with an industry that I was also exposing on the side. However, I was finding the light within it. I was working with producers and directors I wanted to, and we were making content we wanted to, like it was good stuff. When I was working for the cabal in the sense, and it was a negative exchange, I was thick as nails and so very strong, literally ripped. But also I was able to put it away and go home. Now this monetary exchange it's harder to go put it away and go home. I carry it with me. It's like I was bringing that energy home and it wasn't healthy. So the monetary exchange was not healthy. There was no even exchange. And then when, drama hits the fan and everything, you're like, holy shit, I really am not being seen here or heard here. I'm being manipulated and I'm gaslit. And I'm considering walking back just to make a couple extra $100 for my kids' birthdays are coming, the Giants' birthday, our anniversary, all these. This is the time that it kicks in where I'm like, bam, bam, bam. I'm hostess with the most, and all these events are going on for the people I love, and I'm fucking broke. And I'm like, I did it to myself in a way because I put all my chips into this. No regrets still. So I don't know. Maybe my buddy Rick will tell me, is that a Scorpio thing? No regrets. How can it be regret if you're learning from it? If you get wisdom from it, how can it be regret? How can you say, oh, I wish I never did that? I don't, because I've learned so much more about myself. I also am now seeing, now that we're fully in summer, when having moved here in the winter and in the thick of it, and it was cozy, and then here comes spring and it's just this vibe. And now we're in the summer and it's like, we did that. We made a very big, brave move as a family, my little family of 4. And that's pretty cool. And I'm proud of us. So I'll be hell-bent if I tank this family by my emotions and by mine going, oh, I shoulda, coulda, woulda, which is just been taking a lot of work to push that shit to the side. The shoulda, coulda, woulda. Oh my Lord, the replays. So having felt like in those several months, a little bit of losing myself, I'm slowly, thank you for the reminder. I got out this window and something flew by and was that a little fairy? But also whether it was a little fuzzy from a cattail, whatever it was, I just got pulled back to remember what it is. Look at this nature. Look at this geopoint. Look at this place where I spent my childhood and had all these great experiences, multidimensional and then some. And I'm back. So I'm remembering a little bit of the good stuff in all of it, but I'm rooting. And I think that's how I left my last live. I'm beginning to put some roots in. And even the obstacles that just came around again, all they were gentle reminders to stand in my truth. They were gentle reminders to focus. Focus on what it is you do want. Focus on what your boundaries are and what you don't tolerate, and focus on truly saying the right thing at the right time. It's crucial. Clear communication is crucial. It is not up to you to make it worded and say the right way and practiced and said, and your delivery none of it matters if the person on the receiving end isn't ready to receive, or if they have their own trajectory and their own focus and their own way of going, and you're not a part of it. So there's so much detachment and letting go while at the same time forging ahead. It's exhausting. Hence the gummy. Oh, so I'm thankful. Let's see. Let's find some gratitude. I am grateful for having this knockdown moment again, because guess what? I'm starting to bake bread. Something I should have done a long time ago. No should haves. Could have and would have. But I am making some bread because it's cheaper. It's also more delicious. There's some gratitude. I'm only doing this because it's humid and sticky. And why isn't my window open? Give me 1 second. Yeah. I mean, I'm in front of the window, but it's not open, and it's beautiful out. Okay. So what about some of these stories? What about some of these narratives? What about when a summary of you has come around and you're like, wait a second, that's not me. And you have this thing you just want to like go around and be like, no, this is me. Pay attention. This is who I am. That's their fabricated perception. What are you doing? Big, huge lesson there for so many people, because again, it's how they perceive and receive. You cannot force somebody to see a certain way, especially if they choose to wear their goggles a certain way or lenses are colored a certain way. But what you can do is stand in your truth. Now, as far as a recurring lesson in my face, this has happened in different levels. Now, when I'm in my Debbie Downer depressed phase, I could be like, oh, I'm the common denominator. That's what's happening. But then I look further and I'm like, I'm naive. I can be pretty naive. And I was naive a lot in some of these instances that I'll share, used and abused in that sense for being naive. What got me out of it was rising above and seeing the light in it all and seeing the light in the tunnel. So yada, yada, yada. Recurring solutions. But the recurring problem, I could always beat myself up over being naive. That means I believe the best in people. But the recurring problems, I allowed it to happen. The recurring problem that I take accountability is I played a part. And that I allowed it to happen. And for however long it happened, I was just as much a participant. So I could beat myself up for going, damn it, you fell for it again. I could beat myself up for not seeing the signs. I could beat them up for this storyline that's created. But I was there. I missed it. Oh, well, like there's above all, the umbrella is detachment and letting go. So one of these set instances that I was like, well, because when I was going through this, I was really clamoring, looking for my teachable moment in my lesson and accountability and all, but also what in my database of 51 years can I recall on that I felt this way, that I learned from, so I can help myself get through this a little faster, because it's very taxing on bestie pals and, who, God bless her. I love my gal in the West. I miss you so much. She knows who she is with her little, I'm not even going to say it because I don't want to call her out, but I did a lovely interview with her and she used an emoji for her face. So I think if you have followed this channel for some time, you'll know who it is. I love her. And she has been an incredible shoulder, but she's also been an incredible reflector. So having those friends that reflect to you, very important. But my teachable moment that I was reflecting on and the accountability that I have, okay, pick a lane, Pop. The story of my kid's biological dad. That was pretty heavy. Pretty heavy. So I've shared the story before, but the story of me running around shaking people's shoulders going, wait, that's not me. No, that's not my story, was especially has to do with the industry and being on set. So I knew this man who was, both my kids have the same dad, by the way. I've actually, in this town that I'm in now, some people actually thought they're from different, there's talk. They're getting older. They look a little different in their own way, but they're identical as kids, and they're my blood and they're his blood. And there you go. And now they are the giant's children that he legally adopted. So my story was this man that became my kid's biological dad because we had sex twice. Birds and bees story. He chased me for years. Okay. I thought I knew this guy. I thought he was like gangster and mobster, but also just a party. He was a walking party. He was fun. He also was a gentleman. The dates we went on, absolute gentleman. Didn't try any moves. I loved that at the beginning. And then it got wild really quick. But it did. And here come the kids. So interestingly enough, having halfway through my pregnancy, my first kid with this guy, the stories start coming out. Did you know, he's legally married with 3 children. I had to come to the fact that did not see it. He fooled me. He fooled me and my friends for a couple of years, like for a long time, that he was single. And then it was like, ew, like, am I going to stay being with a man like that? And then B, if I was in that woman's shoes, I'd be crushed. And here I am, that other woman. And I didn't know about her. I didn't know about these other children. So the story, Heidi broke up a marriage. What are you talking about? I didn't know there was anyone to begin with. B, they're separated, divorced. And I'm like, but if I didn't know they exist, how did I break them up? Like, so I dug my heels in. I tried making sure I was authentic and clear about my storyline, even if it threw him under the bus. I had to make sure everyone knew I didn't know about them. Whether they heard it or not, they didn't, but it was the most frustrating feeling. And then I found the light in it all. I found, well, what kind of person are you going to be through all of this? Are you just, you're carrying a child. You cannot be stressing out like this. I embraced his children. I had the child through peace and through love. I did holidays with these other children. We became a little bit of a family unit for a little while. I rose above and I stopped worrying about what people were thinking about it. And I was going to show them, well, this is how we're handling it. And it was working for a while. It was working for a little while, hence come baby number 2. So it was working. But with that baby number 2 and with the lifestyle choices he was making, it was not safe and it was not healthy to continue the relationship with him. In fact, if he showed up, I should say, when he would show up, it wasn't in the safest and healthiest conditions. Now, whatever condition he's in now, God bless him. But it's so interesting enough, he never checks in other than to sign away the kids for the adoption. But I digress. I rose above. But that storyline of being mortified and then knowing that the guys that I've known for years knew that there were other children. And then here I come, Miss Naive, walking around. Oh, soul crushing. Soul crushing. Did it turn me into an absolute see you next Tuesday? No. I fucking sharpened my ripped arms and my business boomed. It boomed even when my child was born. Like I went hard just to prove, see, I'm such a great person. And then as some who've gone through this before know, you can't prove your worth. You can't tell the people, you have to show the people, and you just have to emulate and be. And so it got to that point with him where that struggle of being heard in the storyline, this ugly storyline, like that's how my children are coming into this world with this story. Me, the one who's been dreaming of being a mother one day, didn't need to be at that time. Those were oops, but I welcome it. But that's my story. That's who the kids. And I'm like, what are you showing me? What are you teaching me? What is this? What it was an opportunity to place boundaries, to say what is acceptable and what is not, to see what it looks like to run after people with your truth and how desperate that looks, as opposed to just being the truth, walking the walk, talking the talk. The most painful part of that whole thing was when the boundaries were put up that this will not work for the children or this little family. You need to rise up or step out. And he went dark and went mute and stepped out. That hurt the most. That just did. It was painful for my children. It was painful for me, not just for me not to be chosen, but I could care less. We wound up kind of cohabitating for a while as not partners, just for the sake of the children. So when I found someone else and he went away, that was pretty crushing. I'm like, you can't do it for me, but at least do it for them. So anyway, the storyline changed, but I'll never forget that feeling going on set and seeing somebody who knew the background story. They know the background story, but they don't say anything to support you. I know, Heidi, I know you don't know about them because you would have said it. You always talked about, you would have said, well, what about his other children? Or should we do this? That's just who they knew who I am, but they don't say anything. So you can't walk around making people stand up for you. You can't walk around looking for other people to validate your story so everyone sees the real picture of you. It will never work. Just like if there's something you believe in, anything that rocks can walk. And I know people are what they're going to say to that one. You can find it on the internet, like everything you can find. So imagine my surprise when I couldn't clean up this messy story. I was a catalyst to those children's messy story. I was a part of some woman's messy story, and I didn't choose to be. So that sucked balls. But guess what? I overcame it. I rose above. I pulled up my bootstraps. I put my boundaries in place. We welcomed him over and over again until it was like, well, I'm not going to say anything and do anything, and let's see how much they want to participate. And we still haven't heard a thing. It's been a while. That hurt. How about some personality? Oh, there's two chicks in these communities. One's last name rhymes with Pew. And the other one, why, she and I used to co-host Raising Starseeds. But anyway, those two women and their ill communication, they taught me that it doesn't matter how old you are, you will get used. You will have your words turned on you, and you will, when you get introduced to a community as a bright light, you will have a narrative set about you just to make sure people don't run to that bright light. People don't gather around that bright light. People don't collab with that. You can try to control it till it boosts you up just enough that you can get it out of the way. Those two young ladies, both I shall say, no matter what their age, for the immaturity's sake. One self-admitted, well, I'm a Pisces, blah, 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 blah. No, bitch, you're rude. And you lie. You lied. I've experienced it. You've gaslit. And I watched how you played that. And what I learned from my kid's biological story is, oh my God, this is another one of those I'm going to chase around. And I was so built up with this need to be heard. And I can overhear the Mean Girls Club now saying this, why do you still think you're relevant? Why did you feel the need to ask me to boost you up or be the talking face because you were too shy to do anything? I'm happy. Look at you now. Good job. I digress. That one's more exhausting. But my bestie on the West, she knows who she is, can tell you that story got exhausting. So when I came into a new story of exhaustion, a new story that started getting spun, where someone I deeply care about that I was actually the whole time trying to protect, spun me into their horror story of you're not who it was actually said to me that I was not who let's put this in her words, and I won't say who this is. She had said, Heidi is not who she says she is. She fooled an entire town. She fooled her husband. She's not who she says is. That brought the beast out. That's why I wasn't really able to go live, because it would just be beep, 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 beep. That was like, are you shitting me? And then the wisdom that I've learned over 5 decades, took a long time to get there, but I went, whoa, okay, what part did I play here? What's the accountability? What did I allow to happen? What did I miss? What do I forgive myself for missing? What do I forgive myself for saying this was okay? Like, where's the forgiveness and where's the gratitude? Well, what is good about this? And there's always something good to something. I'm just telling you, there's always something you can find. So this was blessed, one of my new besties I met here. Well, maybe she was the only thing that brought you here. You're supposed to be here. She's how you got here. Otherwise, would you ever have gotten here? And now your work begins. the woo or whatever it may be. Like, don't forget who you are. And then I look back at the last 7 months and I'm like, who was I? Who was I? So that reality of, oh, well, I made the choices to get myself in that position. I did it time and again, even after the giant warned me for several months. Now I'm out of it. And oh my God, it's too quiet. And then I freak out when it's too quiet. And I'm like, oh, now I have a chance to share my synapses and whatnots. Now I have a chance to go out and root and find the new and align. I start praying. I'm not talking about you're going to see me in a church anytime soon because that's another tangent. But I started the path to enlightenment, which means finding the good, which means taking the accountability. I already said that part, but also looking for the signs, looking for the open doors, paying attention to what the universe lines up for you to get you back on track or to give you a little slap. Now, don't forget that. Here it is again. Don't forget that. Twice that happened this week where I was like, oh, I see what you did there. No, thank you. That's what I did this week. And I was like, oh, it was easier than I thought. It's okay to say no. And then yes to the unknown, which might be a little nerve-wracking, but what will it teach you? And will you get to that point where it may no longer be able to teach you anything, or where you learned all that you needed to learn? Then can you say no? Yes, you can with every breath. You also can say yes, and you can trust the process. So as my kids were watching, as my husband's watching, as they're going through their own thing, am I going to be on the ground pulling a full emotional meltdown going, not this again? And then be like, holy shit, but it's my story again. So I did that. Oh, what did I do? What part did I play? And then knowing when you come to a piece of the accountability that you weren't exactly part of the problem that was created, but you're part of the story because you allowed yourself to show up when you knew better. Heidi, stop showing up. It's not conducive to your entire being. You are off track. I think my gummy kicked in, so I don't know if this is making sense. So, super small summary in a different sense. Part of writing has been, thankfully, getting some things out again. Whatever comes of that may. There's a whole drawer here of some of the past journals. I think I shared those before. But getting it out is something, because you can see the pattern work. You can see some stuff. But I was also able to see what I am capable of and what I can do. I lost my train of thought. Maybe because it's getting really long. Okay, where else do I want to go with this? I kind of shared this the last time. I don't remember. It's one take wonder. I'll do it once. I let it go. So I chimed in when I was making shorts. Thanks, Opes Clips. But anyway, I don't know if I tapped into this, but I have to remind that once we got here in January, since now, January, July, we're going on 7 months now. 7 months! Oh my gosh. I'm out of my safe zone, remember? Like, I created my world out there for 26 years, crossing off all the bucket lists, having children, developing a family, the giant getting us in a safe, beautiful home. Like, I've curated. I connect online, but I still was blowing and good, surrounded by my plants, which I didn't get to bring. I was like, here's another lesson world. Here's another poptimism world. And I got here and I was like, oh, nobody knows me. Whoa. Everyone just assumes I have a particular set of beliefs, especially when it comes to all the latest headlines, whether it's geopolitical, medical, whatever it is. I am in the unknown. I am charting the unknown. So what does mom do? I teach my kids how exciting. How exciting is this, kids? Reinvention all over. Be your best self. Do everything absolutely authentic, because who gives a shit? Nobody knows who you are in the first place, so it's going to be new to everybody. Just go, shine, be. And I surrendered. I went a little small. I did not know how much that was going to eat me up. Then I started going, if you knew the old, not era, it will eventually be an era, but what I stood up for and what I did, I was surrounded by kind of the opposite. Being part of conversations. I was in one recently, 2 women I absolutely love to pieces. They have such class and grace. I love it. But I remember it was there back and forth talking a lot and had to do a little bit of pharma and a little way with people, the way people are doing things right now when it comes to their body. And all I did was chime in. I was fascinated, but I'm like, what is healthiest to contribute to this right now? I mean, not a lot of thought went into it, but also I'm like, I'm not going to speak on something I don't know. So I'm like, I actually followed a holistic homeopathic way. So I kind of don't know much to say here, except there's one podcast I did with my dear buddy Lawrence. I did mention that but it had a lot to do with it, but I don't know if this is in alignment. I don't even know if I said that. It was just kind of like holistic homeopathic, not sure how to contribute here. And the conversation just gently, not ever like, oh, it was just like, well, we want to hear what she has to say. And then it like shifts. And then I got to share. And it was like, and then it shifts again and shifts again. Adult conversations that are so healthy. I'm finding those people just when I needed them most, just when I needed to be reminded that I can hold a really healthy conversation. I do have a healthy set of morals and standards I believe in that I followed most of my life. I am a good person. I do have an incredible set of skill sets. Like I started to remind myself that I am capable of doing anything. So when I got presented again of falling back into a situation that wasn't in alignment, I actually was so confident who I was. I was like, yeah, I can do it again. And then pulled, and I'm like, wait, what the hell am I doing? Fool me once, fool me twice, fool me 3 times. I go, no, thank you. And I said it politely and confidently and calmly. And within maybe a couple hours, maybe 2, an opportunity popped up. And I literally had this aha moment of like, here we are. It's like the alignment started again, more like I was paying attention. I was working with the universe, however you want to call it now. I don't even know what to say anymore. Everyone's all up in arms with all the woo-woo shit. So when the Christ consciousness, this, that, the whatever, when the inside of you is in alignment with what's going on the outside, it's there. The path unfolds. It is there. Trust yourself. And like the gentle giant reminds me, the monetary factor was for the betterment of my family. This wasn't so I could go on a shopping spree. That's just not who I am. I've been wearing hand-me-downs my whole life. I finally bought my first dress last week because of where I work. Anyway, but I'm reminded if it's monetary, it's for the wrong reasons, really. Because the monetary for survival, yes, cover your thing, but if you are truly doing what you love and if you are in alignment, the money actually comes more. And then you can put it in a cycle more. You can give out, you can get it back. The machine works a little bit easier there, but are you in alignment with the machine? Or is your entire being rocked? Because it's all gets unhealthy, I think. My body was stuff, all of it. So the alignment's starting to happen. It's painfully slow because I am in my sprightly summer mode. And I kind of like, let's go. But putting things into action got easier and getting proud of myself again. Where does the ego play in everything? That's a big to do. You're watching other people's ego unfold. You judge. In judging, you're using your ego while are you assessing or are you judging? Ego will play a part in a lot of this roller coaster ride. Being able to recognize it and check it, even if it takes a while, I think that's part of mastering yourself. That's part of the plan of learning this universal truth of you get what you give. Like this circle of life. I know that's like, yeah, no. I think the gummy's here. Is it time for a musical break? Oh, I do miss chatting with some peeps. So if by chance you come across this and you have not been bumped off my algorithms or the flow of things because I scarcely post lately, out of respect for my surroundings, they're not posting. And the new peeps that watch, no one gets asked to be brought into a lot of drama, but also if you're constantly regurgitating, aren't you constantly participating in it and keeping it active? If you are truly trying to change the course of what you're doing, then go out there and do that. Some of you can take your phones along the way while you do that, but that's not where I'm living right now. I don't want to be that person. Maybe at one point. Anyway, to be continued. So, but in a very small little bowl to wrap this up. So, what have I done this week? At the past, well, since I went super downhill, I have to say, give big shout out. I've made some beautiful friends here. In fact, the night after I did my last live, I went to a friend's house who had to make a very big shift in their life. She made me this incredible charcuterie board, and we chatted for a long time. And I mean it incredible because a lot of it's from her garden, and like this is like a pro here, so they know what they're doing. And it was less vent and more just breathing, because we did vent and we talked, but I'm at the same time admiring her plants. I'm admiring her cats. I'm admiring watching a woman in her home, in her lifestyle. I'm admiring her. And I could kind of step outside yourself. Then I got to visit with my dear friend, and see her amazing children and have them in my home too. These are the brightest lights I've seen in a long time as far as kids. I miss my kids in the classroom in California. So these kids would get along very well with them. But this friend of mine, we got to go experience music together. We brought our daughters. I've been out to eat. I'm experiencing the town without an apron on, but also saying yes to these invitations that are opening up new opportunity. That was my point. I'm actually not going to get into a lot of the things that were presented to me that knocked me off my feet. Like, oh my God, people know who I am and look what I'm doing. Not, oh my God, if they could see me now, but more like, can you believe it? Like, my intent was to share a few things that happened to me that I share with my friend in California, because it's like, how and why is Heidi there? And then I'm reminded, well, I did work in Hollywood. Like, I can be within something and not of it. I can be at an event to observe, but not absorb. And I think that's pretty powerful too. So, holy smokes, I don't know what this last bit is saying. So, back to, if my algorithms have not dropped you, if all the people reporting my page have not dropped you, I feel the loosh, man. I feel the loosh bombs. Not necessarily from social media people, but there's a group in California, and there is now probably a little group here that are like, oh no, hell no. Go away, Care Bear. Stop telling the truth. And so I'm just going to get that much brighter. And that's going to involve working with kids again. I'm aligning that. And that feels very good and very much in alignment. And guess what? Money is definitely off the table because they don't pay but crap out here to work with kids. 1:00. Okay, time for my little man and I to build a chair. And yes, we're spraying the giant with chair number 2. We're a little old couple on the porch now with our rockers. That's where I'm at. And by the way, good question my mom brought up the other day. Had my mom and brother here recently. Where are the fireflies? Where the heck are the fireflies? And knock on wood, where are the mosquitoes? We are missing both of those. Now, I am a child of the 80s and 90s here, exactly where I was before. That's what summer was, fireflies and mosquitoes and the biting horseflies. I have not seen any of them nor felt them. Now, is it because I'm toxic? But why are other people saying it too? Where'd they go? What are they doing? Is it just tick time? I'm not sure. I told you I found one on the back of my neck randomly walking the dog, and I live in the city of the town I'm in, which is not like LA City. I'm staring at a bunch of trees. It's a marine town. Where are the mosquitoes? I don't want to see them, but I'm glad the mosquitoes stepped off stage. Now, if the ticks that came on stage, if you could finish up your act and get the F out, that'd be great. Cheers. May you all find your way, whether it's via a gummy, just kidding, a cinnamon roll, an NA drink. Who knows? But I wish you well. Thank you. If this intrigues you and you are new to my Careshare and my vlogs and blogs, hi. Feel free to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell. Okay. Smell you later. Tuesday at 2. Bye. That'll be live. Come say